to another episode of Mobile with the Guru. This is your host, Ricky Cat and Symbian Guru, and today I'm live on location in Florida with my friend Rafe Blandford of All About Symbian.
Hi everybody, good to be on Driving with the Guru, so we're not driving, we're
right.
mobile with the Guru.
Hence we've renamed it to Mobile with the Guru. So, got a little bit of news to cover in this episode, and Rafe's also got a special toy that he's going to show us. So first of all, the Nokia email beta, which has been renamed to Nokia Messaging, has graduated from beta and is apparently a full product now. Are you using this on your phones?
Yeah, I've been using this. I mean, I tried the very first beta and it lasted about half an hour before I uninstalled it because it was so unstable and just wasn't really working very well. But I've recently been using it on the E63 in preference to kind of the standard Java Gmail app, and does a better job, it's certainly much better than the built-in messaging application.
Absolutely.
And I really like the way it kind of combines several accounts together and actually adds push email to it as well. It's got basic support for HTML. I'd really like to have more support on that front. I know not everyone will agree with that. And also in the new version that's just come out, has better support for IMAP folders, which is something I use a lot, so I'm really glad to see that coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been using it since the first beta as well, and I actually a lot of people have been having problems with the new version, and I've actually not had any issues at all. I know I've got it loaded up on the N85, and I've also got it on my E71. So really and truly though, for me, the HTML support isn't such a big deal. What I would like to see especially is a drop-down box that lets me choose the reply to address. I have 4 or 5 emails coming into my Gmail inbox, and so to me it would be really, really cool if it could, if I could choose the email that I show when I respond to people. That to me would be a much better feature. But I know that, and I know that Mark Guillaume of the Nokia blog showed a screenshot of how emails with links in them look with HTML and with no HTML support, and it definitely does look a lot better. So I would definitely like to have better HTML support, but for me, I don't know that that's such a priority, really.
I think the other issue for me is search, and I'd like to see better search in the product, because I use Mail for Exchange on a hosted Exchange server, and that has search on server functionality, which is great when you're looking for email going further back in time. And I don't necessarily expect something like that on a consumer grade product, but certainly IntelliSync, which of course the Nokia messaging stuff has come out of, is capable of supporting something like that, so I'd maybe like to see that. But even just a basic search within the stuff that's already in your inbox would be a good start. Because when you're getting 50 emails a day, it's getting kind of difficult to manage that kind of level.
Right.
But otherwise, it's a big step forward, and given that it's going to be available out of the box, I think it really strengthens Nokia's consumer messaging message.
I agree.
And it's going to be great to see it. I'm sure it'll be pre-installed in devices, and that together with the over-email stuff for the developing markets, or for those who don't have email, creates a fairly compelling platform when you go from one to the other, right up to the Mail for Exchange and the Lotus stuff as well.
Right. And one other thing that I'm really interested to see is, obviously Nokia Messaging now is based on IntelliSync, which Nokia bought a few years back, and they've recently added contacts and calendar sync to sync on Ovi, which uses SyncML. And I would definitely really, really like to see synchronization of contacts and calendar integrated in with Nokia email, so that I have this one suite. I can load it up on any of my S60 phones and instantly get all of my email, my contacts, and my calendar just right there. I think that would be truly a killer feature.
I agree with you. I'm sure that's on the roadmap.
I would hope it is.
It seems like a sensible thing to add in. And you can do it. I think it's good to have it available separately as well.
Right.
But for that kind of experience, you really do want everything in it. It's a pain having to maintain separate address lists and that kind of thing. So 100% behind you on that one, Ricky.
Good deal. So that's just a little bit about Nokia Email Beta. If you haven't checked it out, it's still, oddly, they haven't changed the URL. It's still email.nokia.com. So you can go check it out. It's a free application for now. Anyways, so
you can download it on the PC or on the mobile device.
Right.
Great from Nokia to actually develop a mobile site for downloads, which they don't always do on there. So
absolutely. They've revamped the mobile site so you can actually type that in on your phone's browser and get a phone-friendly without having to navigate this massive desktop website. So very good. So now what phone is it that you have that I've not been able to get my hands on?
I brought a little surprise with you. This is the Samsung SGH-i7110, which is Samsung's latest S60 phone. As you can see, candybar form factor. I think the thing that kind of stands out for me about this is the build quality is really good. I'll hand it over to Ricky here. It's got a 5 megapixel camera, GPS, FM transmitter, and it's got an AMOLED screen, so that's the same as the N85. It probably won't come out here in the sunshine, but it's, you know, a really bright screen. I'd say probably the equal of the N85, and really in one sense this device is like the N85 but in a candy bar form factor.
Yeah.
As with the other Samsung devices, the one downside maybe it doesn't run some of the Nokia services, so you haven't got Nokia Maps on there.
Right.
They do install Google Maps by default, but of course there's also things like the Music Store and Engage. So if you're into those Nokia services, the Samsung SGH-i devices may not be quite so great. I mean, there's some other interesting bits in it. It uses the Samsung proprietary connector port, which kind of sucks, but it does have the it doesn't have a 3.5mm audio head jack.
Does it come with an adapter in the box?
Which, you know, there is an adapter in the box, and it's got the same optical joystick as the i8510, which is a bit useless most of the time, but in web browsing, you know, it's a real boon, I find. Makes it very easy to move around a web page. Kind of difficult to see, but there's some. I'm sure we'll get some videos up to sort of demonstrate that at some point. But as I say, the build quality. I mean, I don't know what you think, Ricky, holding that in your hand. It feels really solid.
It really does, and it's the keys are flat, but there's a raised ridge here between each row. That makes it very easy to kind of determine which one you're on. And I actually really like this theme that's on it. It's kind of it's a dark background with colored, really simplified icons. I don't know if you can see that in the light here.
And what's good about that is that it really shows off the AMOLED screen, because of course one of the things about the OLED screens is it has big contrast ratio, so you get true black and you don't get any light leakage from the light there underneath the LCD screen.
Right.
So, you know, really great way of showing it off, and actually Nokia could have learned something from that possibly for the N85.
Absolutely.
So, you know, good job from Samsung.
Yeah, it looks very nice, and being a huge fan of the N85, I'm really anxious to read the review of this, which I'm assuming will be on All About Symbian very soon.
Steve's already posted part 1 of it, and part 2 should be going up sometime in the next week, and I'll probably add my own thoughts in at some point.
Awesome, fantastic. And once they're done reviewing it, I will be stealing it, so just assume that.
I'm hoping I'm going to get this back before going back home on the plane, Ricky.
He might not. It might come back to Texas with me. So very cool stuff. I for one am really glad to see Samsung kind of doing more with S60. They've been a licensee for quite a while. And I think Nokia with S60 has kind of rested on its haunches a little bit, being that they're really the only manufacturer doing anything with it. So I'm really excited to see another big player coming in, and even LG's kind of doing a little bit, but I think Samsung's really pushing the bar in terms of using the display, the OLED display, and using adding cool features to the camera, like the digital image stabilization, the facial recognition, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, they've done a great job, and you know, before they were focused mainly on kind of mid-range devices, but now they're really pushing the envelope right at the high end. The i8510 with its 8 megapixel camera is technically the best S60 smartphone you can buy. There are some issues maybe with the software and the Nokia compatibility thing, and I fully expect them to continue that next year. And I think actually one of the trends of 2009 we'll be seeing competition from Nokia from other S60 licensees. Now, be that Samsung, Sony Ericsson or LG, we'll have to wait and see.
Very good stuff. So thanks a lot for being on the show, Rafe.
It's a pleasure, Ricky, always is.
And we've definitely been enjoying the sun here in Florida. So thanks again for watching, and have a great day.